Everyone, please give a standing ovation to the one, the only, Dick Vitale!
Thank you. Boy, Scott, I'll tell you one thing. I hated doing his games. I'll tell you why I hated doing the games. He had a kid in his lineup, for example, played a lot. His name was Chachawa. Some crazy spelling. I rehearsed it like crazy. My buddy Bob was choosing to the house. He had me rehearse it I don't know how many times. And then he tells me, he says, Dick, don't worry about that. I don't know his damn name. He said, we call him Everyday John because he comes to play every day. So I've used the name one time, and Bob Wischusen said, great job, Chick. That was great the way you used it. I said, well, that's the last time I'm using it. We're calling him Everyday John. I'll tell you, Scott, you won a national championship. Great. An amazing story, as Kevin said. An amazing story. A lot of people didn't think you had a chance, including me and all the experts. The quote-unquote experts. We said the Zags are going undefeated. The Zags are going to win it all. But you couldn't tell it to the Baylor Bears. They didn't believe it. And, man, I did that game on ESPN International. And we did that game, and I'll tell you one thing. Mr. McDonough and I, we were blown away. In the first 5 minutes, it was over. It was over. They had no shot. The athleticism, the domination. And that's because of you, Scott. You one great guy. There was a guy years ago, if my mind is right, Scott will help me here, Howie Schwab can help me. But I just think there was a guy that said, years ago, nice guys finish last. That was Leo DeRocha, baseball guy. But you know what? He never met Scott Drew, man. Because I'll tell you one thing, you're one of the nicest people I've ever met in the coaching fraternity. Give him a good hand. Scott, you won your national title. This is my national championship game. It's me against pediatric cancer. And I plan on leaving here tonight as a winner. You know, when you talk about great teams like his team in Baylor, they had a great bunch of role players. And then they had a star, Jared Butler, Mitchell, 2 stars. Every team needs a star that wins a national title. When Lou Holtz won the national title, with the Fighting Irish and Notre Dame, they had role players, they had a star. I look back there, I see Mr. Arians. I see Jason Light, and what a job they did. Mr. Arians, he had a lot of role players. But then when things got tough, he said, number 12, you're a winner. You're a winner. Take us to the promised land. We didn't bring you here to finish runner-up, man. Have you seen your check, Mr. Brady? It's pretty high, baby. So every team needs role players, and they name a star. I got a bunch of role players here. This is my team, baby. You got your Baylor Bears, but this is my team right here. Everybody in this room. But I also have a star. So when things get tough, that's why I know $5 million is going to happen. Because my star, he's a Michigan State guy. He's my Magic Johnson. And his name, Mr. Pentecost. Marking it works. He will never, ever let me lose. Ever. And I plan that these kids will never lose because we're going to raise $5 million plus here tonight. There's no doubt about it. I want to thank so many people. I don't know where to start. Constellation. Where's my guy, John Saputo? There's my guy, John Saputo. A nice paisan, baby. And then I'll tell you this, John and Constellation. You know what they've done? You know what they've done? Tonight, think of it as $500,000. Constellation. Where's my John? Where is Joe Dela Paz? Where's my guy, Joe Dela Paz? Where is he? All right. Thank you so much, man. Corona beer. We love all of you guys. Love you. Also, I can't thank enough my guy, Michael McDonald. Where are you, Michael? I know you're... These lights, can I get the lights where I can see the people? I'd rather see the people. Where's Michael? Oh, there he is. Michael played for me at Rutgers. Well, he sat the pine. He was a bench warmer. But he's got a new book coming out. And the book is Bench Warmer to the Boardroom. I knew he'd be a winner in the game of life. There was no doubt about it. Loyalty, dedication, great teammate. He only went up to be the CEO and the head of Xerox. And now he has a new book out. A new book just came out today. A book that says from the bench to the boardroom. And he told me tonight, sitting there with Lou Holtz, who I love dearly, can't thank Coach enough for being here. He said, Dick, every dollar I make from the book is going to you and the kids for pediatric cancer. I can't, there's so many people to thank in this room, whether they gave me $100, $500, as Kevin said, or millions. But I got to share this story. I get a phone call from a paisan, Tom Izzo. He calls me up. He says, Dick, you got to call up one of my former players. I said, what did you call him up for? He said, I think he can help you with some money. He said he went from sitting my bench, never ever played. He was a walk-on, but I knew he was just like my guy, Michael. He said, a winner. He said, a winner, and no doubt about it. Call him up, please. So I call him up. I go through all the secretaries and CEO of a major company. I finally get him on the phone, and I knew right away. I was telling my buddy Harry Rhodes, who I've been with Harry for over 3 decades. Is it, Harry? I've been with you for over 3 decades. He is the head of the best Speakers Bureau in the world, and that's no lie, the Washington Speakers Bureau. And I'll tell you one thing, Harry, you've helped me big time. I know you helped Lou. Hey, Lou, he's helped our bank account quite a bit, baby. But you see, he gets on the phone finally, and he says, I can't believe it. I can't believe Dickie V is calling me up. Oh, my God. He said, when I played, I used to dream that you would call one of my games. Oh, my God. He said, I used to dream about that, but I never got off the pine. Coach Izzo never played me. I was praying that we would have a game when you did it, and we routed the team so I would come in, but I never came in. He said, but what can I do for you? He says, Tom Izzo told me all about what you do for kids, and I love kids. So what can I do for you? I said, well, I'm trying to raise a lot of money. I said, it kills me what these kids go through. Tonight, I got a little emotional, more than a little. At the press conference, we had my all-courageous team in front of us, and I was there with our great cast here, Bruce, who's done wonders in raising money. I may be wrong, Bruce, but I think it all started with you, with Chris Lofton, playing for you at Tennessee. Pretty good memory. Hey, for 82 years old, pretty good memory. But Chris Lofton was a great shooter. And during the season, he came down with cancer. And he took charge and raised dollars, inspired, motivated. And I can't thank you enough. I see my guy here, Scott. Star beyond stars. We got guys here in this audience, excellent play-by-play people, real broadcasters. When you think about Chris Fowler, a giant at what he does, Bob Wishoes and I work with Rich Hallenberg, and certainly my guy Scott and Kevin Nagande. But Scott is one of those rising stars. And I see sitting next to you is your beautiful wife, Stephanie, but I see to the right of you an agent, Mr. Sandy Montag, one of the best. Are you counting the cash register going ding-a-ling-ding when he brings? Sandy has represented me for over 30, 40 years, right, Sandy? He was my stat guy, statistician, when he was at Syracuse University. And he goes from statistician to being my agent, man. I love you, Sandy, and I love you, Scott, what you've done. Muffet McGraw, talk about multiple championships, But most of all, what about dignity and class and all the things you want in a leader? You want your athlete to play for a Muffet. You're as good as it gets. And you went and coached at Notre Dame. Dear to my heart, we got 8 degrees from Notre Dame in my family. And if you count me, they gave me an honorary alum degree, so we got 9. I can't spell Notre Dame, I'm so damn dumb. But and then we got Coach. We had a great night one time. You don't remember this, I do. I was there to do a Gator game. And we were at a restaurant having dinner at Shula's. And we found out you were in the restaurant. And you left some recruits to come with us. And you stayed with us. How dumb could you be staying with us instead of being with some recruits? Oh my God. I don't even think Coach Holtz would have done that. Would you leave a recruit to go sit with Dick Vitale? You'd say, screw Vitale. He can't throw a pass. But you came in and we had a blast. You and Scott was with us too. He was there to play against Florida. I can't thank you again as well. Tonight, people, I could joke, but this is special. I'm obsessed. I sometimes, and I apologized at the press conference, I drive some of you absolutely crazy with text messages, videos. It's so important. Do you see the kids? You see a Cannon Wiggins, Dad here, Mom here, Melissa, Michael. What he's gone through with his neuroblastoma is unbelievable for a youngster 9 years of age. It's been 8 years of a battle. And I will never, ever forget, I shared it at the press conference. After one of our galas, I get a letter. I get a letter from the dad, and a handwritten note. He says, Dickie V, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Because I don't want to be one of those moms and dads every day that gets up and puts a shirt and tie on and a suit and is going to a funeral for their child. It crushes me. I wish we never had to give those grants out. Give those grants out for Clayton. I see Jamie up here, and oh man, just unbelievable. I spoke, and it just crushed me at a funeral service they had for them, and watching them sit up front. No mom and dad should put their child to rest. Are you kidding me? I think about Fran McCaffrey calling me up one night and saying, I need you to talk to this youngster. He's in the hospital. He's good friends with my son, Patrick. And we got hooked up, and Fran hooked me up, and we had a great time on the phone with the youngster. He smiled. I invited him to my buddy, the Matteels, who are here tonight. They've raised over $1 million for me so far out in Iowa, doing an incredible job. But we had him at that event. He had such a smile on his face. He was with his buddy Patrick. They both, 2 guys growing up together. How ironic is that? Both come down with cancer. One with thyroid cancer, and the youngster, he didn't get so lucky. He didn't get so lucky. And I wish we didn't have to give that out to Stacy and Craig, but unfortunately, and then I don't know them. I've never met the other family they brought with them here today, the Schaefers. I know my guy Scott met them, said he met them. They lost their son in March, the Schaefers. Will you stand, please, the Schaefers, and give them a hand right here. People, this is a dreaded disease. As we're having food here tonight and sharing stories, 45 to 50 mothers and fathers today and every day have gone home and they've heard 4 words that no mom and dad ever wants to hear. Your child has cancer. It's life-changing, and we must end it. Research is so needed. You heard Andrew. I spoke with Andrew on the phone earlier this year. What a great job he did this year with Texas. And there's no doubt how good. He's going to go from 15 to 20 playing for Chris Beard and having a great, great career down in Texas and finish strong. But my God, when we talked, he told me, he said, if it wasn't for the research, Mr. Vitale, they told me I probably wouldn't be living, never mind playing basketball. It's so needed. I shared this story. I'm standing in the back of the room, after one of our galas, and young mother called me over, and she said to me, "I'd like to talk to you and your wife, Lorraine." She did. She gave me a big hug, and she said, "You saved my child's life." I said, "Come on, I don't save anybody's child's life. I don't know what you mean." She said, "The research grant they told me at All Children's Hospital for brain cancer that was funded through your event saved your son's life who had brain cancer." Oh, he's a great story. Kyle today is in college, doing fantastic and cancer-free. I'll get back one more time with Clayton again. Clayton I met for the very first time, if you remember it, Matt and Jamie. I got a call from a young guy that's been with us for 5 years as a cancer survivor, an all courageous kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore. When he came with us originally, he was about 12 or 13. Now he just graduated college, and he called me last night. He was upset that he couldn't be here, but it was for a good reason. He's coaching varsity baseball as an assistant coach at ODA, and they're in a regional tournament they're in here in the state of Florida. But he's a great story, and I want you young kids here, these cancer survivors, to hear me. He was told he wouldn't walk. He was told that he would most likely not live past 6, 7 years of age. And today, he's coaching, college graduate, played college baseball. His name, Jake Taraska. And Jake called me that day to come down to meet their son. He said to me, he has the same thing I have, Mr. Vitale, the same thing, neuroblastoma. I need you to try and pick up the family spirit. And we had a great time at a breakfast place. I gave him a basketball, we signed, we had a great time. And he was in remission. He was so happy. The family was thrilled. And then I get a call from him again a few months later saying that he didn't make it. It just tore my heart out. And I went down there and I said a few words at your service. I beg you people, if you're able, I know that everybody can't give. We're in a pandemic. You know what? Cancer doesn't care about pandemics. He keeps going on and on. We talked about the 4 cents out of every dollar. That's absurd. That's ludicrous. We must do something in a positive manner to help. I got very emotional in there when I mentioned the youngster. I remember him sitting with the Lightning. The Lightning people would have been here, but they're playing tonight. I will tell you this, they're such beautiful people. But I just remember, it was unreal, Tony Colton. Tony was a beautiful young guy, always smiling, 15, 16 years of age, loved by everyone, had like 5, 6 bouts with the cancer. And finally, one day I seen him, my wife and I, and he said, "Not doing too well, Mr. V. Not doing too well, but you know what? I'm not going to feel down. I'm going to enjoy every day." Well, he came to the gala, then he came, and he spoke at my house on Saturday, where many of you will join me tomorrow. And he spoke at the house. He wanted to speak. I said, "You sure you want to do it, Tony?" He said, "Yes." And he begged the crowd. He said to them, please, I might not make it, but help Mr. V with dollars so kids don't have to suffer like I've suffered all these years. And then about 2 months after that, Lorraine and I get a call that he was rushed to the hospital up in Tampa. And we went to the hospital to visit him. And I will never forget this as long as I live. I got very emotional telling it there. And my wife promised me, she said, "Please don't get emotional up there." And I'm going to try not to, and I probably will not. But I went to that hospital room, and he was hooked up with every machine imaginable. And he went like this. I went to the bed. I went over there, and you could barely hear him speak. And he was such a very effervescent, personable kid, spoke so well. He was a junior in high school. He said to me, Mr. V, please don't stop. Please help those kids so I don't have to do what I'm doing." And we hugged, and I cried, and I hugged. I said, "Tony, to my last breath, I promise you, to my last breath, I will beg and plead for dollars. I will promise you that." and I'm doing that here tonight. I simply say, please help us if you can. And I want to say also before I get done here, where is the Herman youngster? Weston Herman and the Herman family. Stand up, Weston. Stand up. I want you all, I don't believe there's anybody in this room. Bruce, you would love to have him on your team. Belichick sent me a text because he's on my mailing list that I mail to people, and there was an article about him. That youngster is one of the best hockey players in the state. He is terrific. Weston's dad and mom, Jared and Amy, my wife and I were having dinner with Mike Valdez, my financial broker, great guy, does a great job at Merrill Lynch. He and his buddy John Thiel here, they help us big time every year. But I was having dinner at the Capitol Grill, and this couple walks in here, and they came over and said, keep raising those dollars because it affects us. Our son has brain cancer. And this was like 3-4 years ago. And I something about I liked. I said, sit here with us. And after sitting with us, about 45 minutes, the father pulls out an iPhone, and he said, I got to show you this. And he shows me a video of his son playing hockey. I was blown away. I couldn't believe. I don't know nothing about hockey, red lines, blue lines, green lines. I don't know any. But all I know is he was scoring goal after goal after goal. So we get in the car, and I tell my wife, because I'm very good friends with John Cooper, the Lightning coach. We've done events together. Katie Ballesteros, who's here for tonight, she had a transplant from her brother in the Navy. The only match to save her life. Katie, stand up. Katie is sharing somewhere I know. Her brother, Lewis, overseas, Navy. It was a match, and today she's cancer-free. Great story. But my guy, Weston, I called up Mr. Cooper, and I said, I need a favor, John. I need a Lightning jersey with #1 and Weston's name on the back. And he said, come on, Dick. You know I'm better than that. Jersey? Why don't you get him up here to skate with Stamkos and all the guys? And he did. And he had the time of his life. And he skated. Well, you know what? Don't you ever quit. You can beat this battle. His dad called me up about 8 to 10 months ago, and I didn't like the tone of the voice. And Jared says to me, we just came back. We can't believe it because he's been in remission for like 2 years. The doctor said the cancer's come back for the 4th time. He's now in his 4th battle with brain cancer. He's had 2 brain surgeries. And you know what he did about 3 months ago? Is where Belichick sent me the thing. 3 months ago, he does his chemo, and he tells the doctor, I'm playing hockey tonight. And he plays with the older kids. Doctor said, what do you mean playing hockey tonight? And he came home, and the father, I talked to him, said he was throwing up, doing all this, but he's inside putting his hockey uniform. He went out and played. It was in the paper. I may be wrong, but it was 3 goals and 2 assists. Unbelievable. So I send that out. I sent the article out, and Belichick said something back like, man, get me in for the Patriots, baby. Talk about toughness. Wow. Macari Tarpley. Where's Macari? I heard about her from Mr. Robertson. Stand up, Macari. Stand up. You see Macari? Talk about living the American dream. She was a star with Disney production, Lion King, touring around the nation. And then, oh, she could sing. I was told there's a chance you may be singing downstairs at the party after, but bottom line is, she came down with Hodgkin's disease, and she needed a transplant. And today she's cancer-free. You know what she did? You know what she did for her 16th birthday? She said, I don't want no gifts. I want the money to go for kids battling cancer. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. The one common denominator, the greatest gift you can have as a person is being unselfish, is being one that you can trust, one that is loyal, one that is dedicated in pursuing their goals and dreams. Oh my God, every one of those kids, and I could go on with a number of them there. Najari, you're going to hear Jackson, I talked about him outside. He goes down to the University of Florida. Here's a kid, he's had vocal cord surgery, taken out, all kinds of polyps, etc. Then he has autoimmune disease, but he and his mother, Lashina, they go out and put together bags of toys filled up that pass out to all the other kids in hospitals. And then he goes to the University of Florida, and they didn't even know it. It's not like they made him make the team because he was somebody to play in sympathy for. But I found out, somebody called me and said, do you know he made the scout team, the walk-on scout team down at the University of Florida. I said, are you kidding me? No way. I didn't even know he played football. I called up Steve McLean, one of your right-hand guys. I said, is there a kid on the team there? And he looked, he said, yeah, Najari Jackson. I said, you guys have no idea what that kid's been through. He was honored at the White House for all he's done to help others. And I'll close with this. Every one of these kids and their families, and the families of those that lost loved ones, can't do enough to help others. Isn't that incredible? That's a real trait, and that's why I get so fired up. I love people that have pride. My mom and dad have told us many times, I miss them so much. My mother and father were uneducated. 5th grade education at best, but a doctorate of love. And I taught my brother, sister, and I in this great country. My mom would always say, Richie, never Dick. It was Richie. I lost my eye as a kid in an accident. And my mom used to always say, Richie, big deal. You got one eye, big deal. You can be what you want to be. And never ever, son, ever believe in can't. Don't allow can't to be part of your life. And then she would always tell me, Richie, treat people how you want to be treated. We need more of that in our nation. Whether one is black or white or rich or poor, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Treat people with a hug, not name calling. Hugs, love. We need more love for one another because this room is filled tonight with love. God bless you. I love you all. And please, I want $5 million. Thank you.